Over the past 75 years, more than 10,000 chemicals have entered our food supply, but the EU allows just 300 additives. At Thrive Market, we prioritize quality, banning over 1,000 ingredients found in conventional grocery stores. Our Healthy Swap scanner helps you find better versions of your pantry essentials without the junk, dyes, or fillers, and everything is delivered right to your doorstep. So shop at a grocery store that actually cares about your health at thrivemarket.com/get started for 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift.
All right, everyone. It's your girl, Gabrielle. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Topics. If you are new to the show, let me tell you what this show is about. So this is the show where we like to have real conversations. Sorry, I was just looking at my banners. Okay. This is a show where we like to have real conversations about real things, right? So as we are a production of A Step Ahead Tutoring Services, which is my business, I tend to focus on certain topics in my purview, right? So I tend to focus on topics pertaining to employment, education, self-care, life as a parent. I'm trying to see what else. I've done plenty of episodes about homeschooling, disabilities. What else? It's tutoring, life as a tutor. So I've done a variety of different episodes on Hot Topics. So I've interviewed a lot of guests, and today is no different. So let me tell you, you guys. So I am looking forward to this conversation because today is a repeat topic. I am continuing this conversation. And let me tell you what that repeat topic is. So the repeat topic is gig work. That's right. So the topic of this episode is gig work, and it is gig work part 3. So this is the third installment of this sub-series. And I have a guest with me who is going to help me out with this conversation, who is going to sit on the hot seat. Her name is Nikki Nicole. And let me tell you, Nikki Nicole, she helps small to medium-sized business owners boost their exposure, leads, and sales online by growing their influence, brand, and credibility using her marketing system and strategy. So she is all about that exposure, you guys. So I am looking forward to this conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her to the stage. Welcome to Hot Topics. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome and amazing.
Awesome.
I was trying to share the room, and then the camera would act out. I'm like, come on. So I'm blessed. Glad
yes,
to be here.
absolutely. Technical difficulties, but we got this. All right. So let's get right into it. So you have an amazing background when it comes to gig work, and I would love for you to share it with our audience. So I'm going to pass the baton to you, and I'm just going to have you go ahead and start sharing.
All right. So with gig work, Jesus, let's define what is gig work. So basically, gig work is an opportunity for you to work for a company or maybe an individual for a temporary time period. So it's almost like short-term work. Most people know that phrase when they worked a 9-to-5 job or part-time, but it's usually for a short particular time. It could be a day, it could be a week, a month, whatever. The time is limited. The time varies, but at the same time, you get paid as an independent contractor. So you don't get a W-2. You don't take taxes out. You are personally responsible for those type of payment information for tax reasons. But with gig work, it's short term. So it's not consistent. It's not reliable. It's not, you're going to have it today. You might get kicked out or not need it the day of. So that's basically what gig work is. It's a way for you to generally make money when you need cash, but for whatever reason, you can't get a 9-to-5 job or a part-time job. So that's the thing about gig work. It comes in different variations. So I'm going to break down the ones that I personally have done. And then I can share a few bonus ones if you stay to the end of the additional ones you can find. So first things first, one thing I did as gig work was working for a direct sales company. So, you know, they package it like self-employed, but reality, it is gig work because at the end of the day, you only get paid based on your effort. So it's a commission-based business model. So whatever you sell, that's what you get percentage of the sales of. So I was in a cosmetic company. I was with sex toys. I was with handbags. So I was in a whole bunch of different direct sales company, and all of them were commission based, anywhere from 25% to 50% of the sales. So basically, you get paid based on your efforts of selling, your marketing skills, you know, your efforts, your hustle, your grind. So you gotta constantly get up, get out, go find people, call people, book the people, pitch the product, close the deal, follow up with them, all that fun stuff. The second type of gig work that I have personally done was promotional modeling gigs or brand ambassador work. So, what promotional modeling gigs and brand ambassador work is basically you get hired. Think about if you ever worked a trade show. I mean, not worked a trade show. If you ever been to a trade show, any convention, especially car shows, where you got the lady in the middle and she got the mic, or maybe it's a man and he's talking about the car and the car is spinning and she's on a platform, or you have people that wear branded t-shirts like maybe Nestle or NASCAR or Bank of America. They're wearing, you know, the company logo on a t-shirt, and they're either handing out products to you or a flyer, or they're asking you to sign up for something. Or if you've been to a conference and they had a carnival wheel and you had to spin the wheel, you know, you have people come up to you, let you know what's happening at the event. That type of work is brand ambassador work and gig and promotional modeling jobs. You get hired for a short period of time. Sometimes if you're consistent with doing short-term work like that, you might get hired for a long-term job where you go on a tour, where you might travel locally or you might travel out of state, you know. So sometimes you get called for a tour, which is multi-cities and, you know, more pay. But I stuck with anything in my area. I'm from New York City. I wasn't trying to leave. I wasn't trying to travel for hours and miles just for some promotional modeling jobs. And the third type of gig work that I did was worked as an actor, an extra on videos and music videos, and what else we did? Music videos, TV shows, and movies. So that's another form of gig work. So this is more in the talent and entertainment space. Because when it comes to talent entertainment space, they need people called seat fillers to stand in a particular space, make it look like there's an audience, but really you're just hired to sit there and you get paid for it. There's a huge difference between applying to be on a Wendy Williams show, sit in the audience, and you get paid as an actual actor to sit in the audience. Now, when it comes to the entertainment, working as a part-time, working as a extra on sets, these are long hours. You're literally there for 12 hours, maybe 10 hours. And sometimes you're just waiting around for a long period of time. So it's fun. You get to network, but it is very time consuming. It can be very draining. And sometimes if you're on a good production set, the environment is cool, you know, you like what you do, you might want to do it again, but there are some downsides to working as an extra on movie sets, because sometimes the production crew is just nasty as F, and I'm just letting you know, they're just nasty and they disrespectful and mean, and because you're extra and you're not the main star, they're gonna treat you like a stepchild and trash. I'm just letting you know, you did nothing wrong. They'll just snap at you. So, you know, just be mindful with the extra work. Now, TV shows, a little bit nicer because they're shorter. I did Law and Order a couple times, and they was on point. They was like, this is the time we're gonna have lunch. This is the time we're gonna start. This time we're gonna end, and that's what it was. So now I'm gonna backpedal and share, like, how do you find these type of gig works? For me, when it came to, well, with direct sales, you can just find that almost anywhere. You know, you can Google direct sales company. There's Facebook groups about direct sales company. Somebody's going to try to recruit you into a direct sales company. So that's all over the place. You know, that's here nor there. But when it comes to brand ambassador work and promotional modeling jobs, you have to either one, find an ad online that's advertising and hiring promo models. Like they will use those terms, hiring promo models or brand ambassador. They will use those particular terms. I found those on Craigslist. So I would go to Craigslist and I would search either talent and TV under the gig section, or either etc. jobs, or maybe events. I'm not sure. You got to play around with it. But if you type in the search box promotional jobs or promotional models or brand ambassador stuff, it'll show in your city like what's available, because a lot of people will initially hire through Craigslist. But the real work for promotional modeling jobs and brand ambassador work comes from the actual company. So once you get your foot in the door for one, then you can start opening the doors and asking around, like, what are other companies I can sign up for? Because to get constant work as a promo model or a brand ambassador, you have to join their database. So it's kind of like you join like a Slack group or something like that, or a message board, and you get a whole bunch of emails every time somebody posts something. That's how promotional modeling jobs get their information out. You join their database on their website. You put your contact information, you upload a headshot, you upload a body shot. If you have a resume, you put your resume there, your contact. They're going to ask for your measurements, all that fun stuff, because sometimes people look for a particular types of looks and demographics. So if you fit that, you'll be put into the pool where you'll be notified about an event. So once you join the database, and it's free to join, there is no fee. You don't got to pay for nothing. You got to sign up. You ain't got to pay for nothing. It's just put your information in. You get emails saying, hey, there's a job in your area. They'll give you the date, the time, the location, and the pay. Now, sometimes with the promotional modeling jobs, the pay will be like $25 an hour, $30 an hour, $35, maybe highest $50 an hour. So it depends on the gig. It depends on the the contract. It depends on the company you're working for. So that's good money, getting paid $25 an hour for 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours a day, sometimes 8, but even still, like, it's good to have something coming in versus nothing. I'm just being honest. And most of the time, you're just standing there handing out flyers. You don't really need work experience or sales experience, because you're just basically either handing out a flyer, handing out t-shirts, tote bags, managing a table, or bringing people over, having people sign up for a survey. Like, for instance, you went to any car show, you pretty much have people come up to you trying to sign up for stuff or hand out free things. If you've been to the US Open, most people that's wearing the green shirt and the white hat are brand ambassadors. Like, that's a huge event that comes up that everyone gets hired for. The Tribeca Film Festival. This is a major event that happens every year. They hire brand ambassadors to manage these events. So they're constantly happening in your areas, and you don't realize it because you're the consumer taking the free stuff. But once you get in, all you gotta do is ask. Well, you gotta ask everybody. I'm gonna tell you this up front. You gotta ask everybody that's working, what company did they get this job from? And I will share with you, some people's mean, and they're not going to tell you. They're going to say, let's say, for instance, this is a T-Mobile event. They'll say, oh, well, I'm hired through T-Mobile. That they're not hired through T-Mobile. They're just either scared to tell you or just refuse to tell you. One of the two. They just don't want to tell you. But you have somebody like me that'll say, oh, go to XYZ company and Google and sign up, or go to such and such Instagram page, or email this person and say you want to join promotional gigs, So you have someone nice like me that will share with you how to sign up and where to go. You have other people that's just stingy and shysty and they won't share. So just be mindful when you start seeing people wearing branded shirts. Just ask them, like, hey, how did you find out about this? Where did you get this information from? So that's how you get into doing brand ambassador work or promo modeling jobs. Again, they're short term, they're not long term. You might get picked for a tour after you work for a company for a long particular time, and you build up a reputation of actually being reliable. One perk about working brand ambassador work is that you get a lot of free stuff, like legit, like whatever shirt you're wearing, sometimes they'll give it to you. All they ask is you have black pants and khakis. That's it. Black pants and khaki color pants. That's like usually the bottom uniform you need. They'll give you a shirt and you good to go. Sometimes they give you a jacket and a hood and a hat and a tote bag. It is what it is. Now, with me, my side hustle on top of the side gig was selling the merchandise. So I kind of created a side gig from the side gig. So the side gig was the promo work. And what I did was whatever promotional stuff we got to keep, whatever promotional stuff was left over that the client didn't want to keep anymore, they didn't want to hold in storage for whatever reason, if it was good merchandise, we would sell it. So here's the story. I remember we was handing out Excedrin pain reliever pills and a little, the sampler packets that you get with like 2 in a pack. You got 10 in that square. So we was handing those out, and we had a big old Excedrin bag and a t-shirt. And I remember I was like, I'm hungry. It's time to go to lunch. I need to get something to eat. So I went into this bodega, and the guy said he wanted me to give him all the Excedrin, pills. And I was like, I can't give it to you. Like, we supposed to pass these out. And then he came back with an offer like, hey, well, how much you want from it? Now, I'm an entrepreneur. My mind is like, huh? Money? Let me do the math. So I said, you know what? I'll trade you some of this for a hero. And that's exactly what we did. We traded the products we were handing out and got food and some Snapples. I remember there was another gig that we did, and it was with Final Fantasy, the video game. And we had these giant my size Barbie sash posters of each individual character from Final Fantasy. So if you're a gamer, you know about Final Fantasy, you're excited, like, oh my God, Pineapples, right? So at the time, this particular gig, they shipped stuff to my house so I can like pass the stuff out. So when the event was over, I did my part. I turned in my report and showed proof I did the work. I had like hundreds of posters in my house, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with these posters? And somebody was like, why don't you look on eBay and see what they sell for? I'm like, okay. So I went on eBay, and I listed it, and people was buying the posters for $20 a pop. And I made a whole lot of money. Do 100 times 20. Do the math. So, yeah. And that was like the side gig from the side gig, was selling the leftover merchandise. Because again, once the promotional modeling gig is over, sometimes they take the stuff back. Sometimes they like, take what you want, whatever. So that's a bonus perk. I know one time we did an event with NASCAR, and we had these big giant yellow winter coats, like almost like North Faces. That's how long it was. And it had the NASCAR logos all over it. And then we had a t-shirt that says NASCAR and a tote bag. So when the NASCAR promotional modeling job was over, we got to keep the coat. And I remember as I was working it, people was like, well, how much for the coat? Can I buy it off of you? And I'm like, I'm wearing it. And they're like, well, can I buy it off of you when you're done? So again, as you do these jobs, you start to get some ideas on what you can do if you get to keep the merchandise, because people will ask you, can I buy your shirt off of you? Can I get the tote bag? Can you they're just gonna come. I'm in New York City, maybe it's in New York, but people are gonna ask. And I listed the NASCAR coat, the tote bag, and the t-shirt on eBay, and I think I sold it for like $150, and somebody bought it. I did a buy now. I wasn't doing no auction. Buy now. So again, after the side gig was over, I made a side gig selling the merchandise in a uniform. Because when you start doing a lot of promotional modeling jobs, you're gonna get a lot of t-shirts. You could I have a dresser full of t-shirts from promo jobs, so I never have to worry about buying the shirt because I have 5 million shirts from promo jobs. So that's the benefit of doing those type of gigs. You get to meet new people, you get to experience some stuff, you get cash, a decent amount of cash, like 20, 25, 30 an hour, 15 an hour. But the downside is some promotional modeling jobs do not pay you until 4 to 6 weeks after you did the job. I'm gonna repeat that again. Most promotional modeling jobs do not pay you until 4 to 6 weeks after you did the job. So if you're like, I want the cash right now, I want it in 2 weeks, this may not be the side gig for you. But when you get to the point where you do gig after gig after gig after gig after gig, then eventually you're going to have checks coming in every week or every other week because you continually doing more jobs. So it's going to, it's going to fill your pockets in a long haul. I think one cute promo we did which was kind of, well, it was two. Let me share this one. We did one where we was handing out Burger King gift cards and it had $5 on it. And this is when I think the French fry, the apple sticks came out. So we was in Brooklyn and we was handing out the Burger King gift cards and nobody wanted it. Like usually we handing out flyers or, coupons, paper. This was a gift card in the little envelope with gift cards, $5, right? Summertime. Nobody wanted it. It's like I had to pull teeth just to get people to take it, which is crazy because I'm like, it's $5 in the summertime. It's $5. It's a $5 gift card from Burger King. And people say, oh, I support the local vendors. Oh, I don't eat that fast food. And I'm like, but you could get a slushie. You could get an ice cream. You could get something to drink, water, juice, something, soda, and they were like, oh, yeah, you're right. And then they would take it. So eventually I got to the point where like I'm sick of pulling teeth. So I kept them. I was like, you know what? I kept it. My husband was in the car. I said, listen, you willing to stay an extra hour? Because I'm about to load up the car. And I just kept, I'll try. I really did try. I promise. Everything I tried and nobody wanted it. It's like I had to pull teeth. That's the only promo I had to pull teeth. So eventually I just said, you know what? I'm just going to keep it. And we ate Burger King for free for a whole year with them gift cards. So there are perks to working promotional modeling jobs. Whether you get ongoing perks like getting gift cards and you don't got to pay for food for a whole year or getting merchandise where you can sell afterwards or barter for services once the gig is over, so you can basically get some type of payment up front and then wait till the actual payment from the gig comes in, and anything in between, because it definitely opens up doors. People reach out to you, they see if you're consistent, they see you got a good reputation, and they'll hire you for more and more stuff. So the last thing I would share is, like, especially when it comes to gig work, if you decide to if you need cash and you're I feel it's important that you be mindful that some people are not as honest when it comes to finding gig work. They will say one thing, but do something else. So it's important that whatever type of gig work you look for or want to sign up for, make sure the terms of agreement is in writing. Date, location, time, what are you doing? Who's the point of contact when you arrive? Who's the point of contact at the office in case you can't find a manager on site, and document. Get things in writing. And when you do the gig work, take pictures of you at the event, take pictures of you signing in, take pictures of you wearing the merchandise, take pictures of the manager, take pictures. Because when it comes to promotional modeling jobs, 9 times out of 10, these companies are in California. They're not in your local city. There's some that are, but most of the time they're in California, and they hire some person in the office to be the field manager because they need experience before they, level up, and they don't know what the heck that they're doing half the time. So, when you do gig work, document, like take pictures, because you don't want to run into a situation where somebody says you didn't show up, you wasn't there, you walked off set, like you walked off the event and they don't want to pay you and they're going to block your account and blacklist you. You have people that will do weird stuff like that. I've gone to a few situations where one lady said that, I walked off the site, the job site. And I'm like, no, like I was on TV because I think it was promoting, what's the company? Wipeout. We was promoting Wipeout, and they actually had like a little obstacle course in Times Square for us to like do it. And I did it and I got knocked up, and they aired it on Good Morning America live. So when the lady said, I walked off set, I said, sweetheart, I'm on TV. Like, what are you talking about? And I had videos and photos of it, as well as I was networking with the people that was there. So I had their contact information so we can kind of share different jobs. Because again, when you be nice, You're blessed. So imagine if I was stingy and mean and didn't want to share information about other promo jobs. I would have never got their phone number and their email address. And I would never have somebody to vouch that I actually was there, because you kind of know people, but you really don't. So when somebody says you ain't show up and you like, who's gonna prove you? Who's gonna prove them wrong? Right? So, document is key. Take pictures, network with other people, be nice, as well as track your sales. Not track your sales, track your work. When you do these gig jobs, you do so many and you get lost in the sauce. So it's important that you keep a log, whether on Excel or a notebook of some sort, and you have it written down. I remember this one girl, she created her own sign-in sheet. She had the manager write their name, their phone number, and their signature that she worked the job. So just in case, again, someone plays you didn't show up, you didn't do the job, you walked off set, you have your documented proof and say, listen, nope, here's the manager's signature. She signed me in, she signed me out. I have my own copy. Here's photos of when I was at the event. It's timestamped. Here's such and such email address that I was partnered with. Call them and ask. Because I've had situations where people tried that with me. And I'm like, listen, if I wasn't such a document hoarder, I would have been a mess, So it's key to keep records of your own stuff. Don't really trust that, they're going to do their part. Cover your behind, because again, someone could lose paperwork. Someone could just forget something. Somebody could be in their feelings and be mad. And just because you're cute or you're very energetic or you was popular, they might not like you and try to sabotage you. People do weird stuff. So document. Keep your own receipts. Keep records of the events that you've done. Track when you should be getting paid. And last but not least, follow up to make sure you get paid. Listen, there are times where that 4 to 6 weeks will pass and you may not get that check. And I'm sharing this with you because, again, if you don't keep track of the work you did, a whole year will go by, you won't get that check. I'm just being honest. So keep track of if 4 to 6 weeks pass, and if that time frame has passed, you need to follow up with the company and let them know, hey, 4 weeks passed, I did this event, I didn't get paid, what's going on? And and they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, it got lost, whatever, and they'll fix it, they'll get it to you. Sometimes you just got to be a little extra and get some legal people involved for them to pay you, because some people try to be funny. But again, if you keep your documents in order and you stay on top of the company and making sure that they do their end, you should be good. So that's most tips in regards to the type of gigs that I've done. That's information that I shared, where to go to find them. I shared with you the different types of gigs that you can do. Right now, my main focus is affiliate marketing. This is another form of gig work, because you get paid based on referring people to products and services that are not yours. And I can do this from home. I can do this on a plane. I can do this on a train. I can do it here. I can do it there. I can do it everywhere. I don't like green eggs and ham. I don't like it, Sam, I am. But the point is, with affiliate marketing, it is a form of gig work, similar to direct sales, but you don't have to buy anything to get started. I like to promote softwares like, Get Response and ConvertKit and ClickFunnels and Wix and Shopify. These are websites that people pay a monthly subscription for. I'm going to repeat that again. These are websites and software that people pay a monthly subscription for. So every person that signs up through your affiliate link, you get a commission check. And then it just compounds if you keep adding 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people every month. And eventually that $20 commission turns to $200, can turn to $2,000 over time. So that's the bonus tip in regards to gig work, getting in as an affiliate marketing. With that, I'm out. I'm done. If my dear want to get back on the screen, we can wrap this up.
All right. Well, thank you. You gave a whole presentation. Thank you so much for that. You made my job easier, girl. Thank you so much for that. So I want to make sure we get this part in before we close. So can you talk about why you stuck it out with gig work, because we talked about it in the preliminary interview, that it just seemed like you just did gig work for like your whole life, right? So what made you stick it out with gig work? Were you ever concerned about job security? What happens when there are no gigs? So what made you stick it out with gig work?
Well, for me, what happened was back in 2008, 2009, the economy crashed, recession hit, all that fun stuff. That was the same year I got my bachelor's degree. I graduated that actual summer.
Mm-hmm.
And after going to school for 4 years, 21 credits, and I can't get a job.
Mm-hmm.
There was really nothing I could do besides go find something else, So I tried a lot of stuff. Now, if we backpedal to prior to going to college, in high school, I worked part-time for a marketing for a cosmetic company. If I said the name, you know who it is. They're well known. I worked in the legal department, and I would constantly get hired and fired and hired and fired and hired and fired and hired and fired. And I noticed the pattern by year 3. It was always around Christmas break, winter break, summer recess, summer break. It was always a break. And I would get rehired because the manager would chirp in HR ear to let me go. And then she'll try to refer like her nieces, her nephews, her cousins to do the work. Now, mind you, these were teenagers. We were in high school. Think about your work ethics and your mindset at 15, 16, 17 years old. You ain't trying to even make up your own bed, let alone work for a legal department and filing and doing copywork and doing deliveries. So that's why I constantly got rehired, because I actually did the work and I actually did it right. Like, they will mess up photocopy and stuff. I said, how you mess up a photocopy? Like, just put it in a machine, press print. Like, it was it's like simple stuff, but they will mess it up. And that's why I constantly got rehired. So like by senior year, it's like, you know what? I can't rely on this, because if I had a mortgage and a kids and a family and to, take care of, and someone could just say anything and just you're out the door. I see why people go postal and there's stuff happening on the news, because people like to spread lies and rumors, because they're, for whatever reason, they made up in their head, they just want to lie on you, and it affects your livelihood, your family, and everyone that's tied to you. So when that happened at 17 years old, I decided like I needed to have my own business where I have my own income coming in, so I don't have to worry about someone saying something crazy and messing up my money. So that's the reason I went to school, to get a degree in business so I can start my own business. And then, so I was already on that path of like starting my own business before I got into gig work. Gig work just happened to fall in my lap because of the recession. And then I started with the direct sales. And then I started doing the promotional modeling jobs. At the time with my husband, I was like signing him up, and I was like, well, you're light skinned, they're going to hire you. So like, let's call it what it is. You're light skinned. They're going to hire you. Pass the paper brown test. They're going to hire you. Then he had exotic eyes and he was like muscular. So I was like, yeah, you look exotic. Cause like, if you look at the music videos in the 90s, like it was always the light skinned people with the colored eyes or the exotic looking Chinese eyes. They'll say in the forefront. So I'm just going with the media. So I'm like, listen, you look like them, they're going to hire you. And sure enough, he was getting hired. And eventually I got hired for stuff, because he was like referring me. So like, get hired. So we did the gig work, and we was just constantly signing up for new jobs. And because, we did a good job, I'm bubbly and silly all over the place. You can't help but not remember me. And then 2, we were blessed because I started a directory where, again, with the networking, I was collecting people's email address and I would share with them any promo jobs that came up. So that blessing of just being, a servant and helping other people get jobs, that's right there is why, like, I stuck it out, because I would share, they would share with me. We hear about a new company, we all signed up. That's just what it was, and then we got to a point where, we just kept getting gigs after gigs after gigs after gigs. So that's why I didn't really stress about like job security, but I got burnt out, because it's like you constantly have to sign up for new ones, and you have to constantly have to like follow up, make sure you get paid. So I eventually fell back from doing gig work. My husband at the time started doing production work, so he started working as a crew on different sets, which is still like gig work. And then I just focused on a direct sales side, and I was just growing and building and scaling that. Because again, with the direct sales, you get paid on a commission. So because I was constantly getting new contacts, constantly calling people on the phone, constantly booking new leads, that's why I wasn't in fear of like, oh, well, we don't have nothing stable. Like, what if nothing pans out? Because remember, now I got the direct sales stuff, I got the promotion modeling jobs, and I'm selling stuff on eBay. So I was a power seller on eBay. So I was doing like $1,000 days on eBay selling stuff. So there was really no scarcity of, there's no money going to come in, because I'm just personally wired to go get the money. I mean, I grew up, comfortably, my dad, took care of us. So I didn't struggle. I didn't have to beg no man for no money growing up, or, grew up to be a female feeling I got to date a man that got a whole bunch of money, because, I had my dad. I just asked him for money and I got it. That's just what it was. But eventually it got to the point, like, because I got so used to getting what I wanted, I didn't go the lane of becoming spoiled and flipping out because I don't get it. I turned the lane of being resourceful and like, I'm gonna figure this out, because if you ain't gonna give it to me, I'm gonna find another way. So that's why for me, I have that resourcefulness. I'm very determined. I'm very focused. I can break stuff down, and I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna stop because you said stop. I'm gonna stop when I say stop. When I exhaust all resources, I'm gonna stop. So that's why I stuck out gig work, because again, I try to get a 9-to-5 job. Even in this COVID situation, I try to get a 9-to-5 job, and I can't, because I have so much work experience and so much experience doing gig work, and so many certifications and education from, social media marketing and Facebook ads and SEOs and all this fun stuff, and, building funnels. People like, oh, you so, experienced, you might be bored doing this job, or you're overqualified. So that's what I hear now. So that's another reason why I had to stick it out, because I'm overqualified. People feel I'll be bored at their job, so they don't want to hire me, because I wasn't to sit still and just be poor and broke and struggling. I had to go find a way. I have 2 small kids. Like, my oldest he on a spectrum of autism, and we ain't found out till he was 15 years old. But I knew something was off when he was $1, and I needed to make sure my kids was good, because I refused to have my kids struggling. I'm not that parent that's going to say, hey, you can't go to Howard University, and NYU, because mommy and daddy didn't do what they need to do. So you got to go to a community college to get a job. I don't got the balls to say no mess like that to my kids. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to do something now. So when that time comes, he can go to whatever college he want to go to, whether it comes out of my pocket, whether I'm going to find a way to raise the money, sell something. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to figure it out. So that was my reason for sticking it out. I'm just resourceful and resilient like that. And I'm just the type that's going to find it.
You definitely do, sound like the one to find it. And it's like, you are a hustler. You have that personality. And I think that, that you were secure in gig work because you knew where to find it. You knew what to ask people. You knew how to look for opportunities. And because it was difficult for you to get a full-time job, a part-time job, and you needed to survive, right? So you tapped into those hustler skills, and you made it, you tapped into those resources, and that's how you stuck it out in gig work. So
and that's something that everybody needs.
Have that hustler spirit. So do you think because, and in talking to other people about gig work, and even my own experience with it, it's like people do it because they're desperate. They want the money now, or they're trying to supplement it with running their own business, right? Because it tends to be something entrepreneurs do. So if a part-time opportunity or full-time opportunity came to you right now, do you think it is something you would take?
No, because I like to actually take vacations and not have to wait. Like right now, me and my kids, we are going on a 10-day cruise, and it's in April. And if I had a 9-to-5 job, you think I'd be able to go to that 10-day cruise? No. There's a conference I went to in Orlando, Florida, which was 7 days. And it started on Monday, and we didn't get back till Sunday. If I worked a 9 to 5 job, there's no way I'd have been able to go to that conference. There's no way I'd be able to learn information I needed to learn and be able to network. So I have freedom to do what I want per se, versus like I gotta get permission, and God forbid they call me on my day off, which people do, and be like, "Oh, we need you to come in." And I don't know why people answer the phone. You know your job number, so what you answer the phone for? So I have that freedom to go where I want to go, do what I want to do. And now, like, even if I get called for like marketing services, I just need a laptop. I could be, as long as I got Wi-Fi, I can be wherever and get it done. So I wouldn't necessarily do it, because now I'm at a point where I'm selling products that's like $2,000 and $3,000. So you don't know too many places where you banging 5 to 10K. You're working a 9 to 5 job unless you crazy stressed.
So it's working out for you, right? So even though you weren't hired because you were overqualified, you heard it over and over and over again. And like you said, you even tried to find something during COVID. So at this point in time, you're at a stage where you could say, you know what, keep your part-time job, keep your full-time job. I'm good where I'm at.
Yeah, because I know I'm gonna go in there, and because I don't back down from people. I don't like people yelling at me, so I will talk back. So it's not meant for me. It's not meant for me. But like I said, like I have my fitness company now, NYC's Workout. So I teach my workout classes, and I've been doing that since 2015. I have the marketing services with the Diva Speak. I only started that 2017 because I was sick and tired of people being hustled and scammed and taken advantage of. So that's where this came from. And all the knowledge that I share is from working in direct sales, from going to conferences and learning how to market and promote, because nobody taught you that. And the same skills that I use to grow my fitness brand, as well as my previous marketing company, where I was promoting ebooks and workbooks to people in the direct sales industry. So I just share like what I found that works, because I continue with that find a way, make a way mindset. Because I did like 30K one year just selling a workbook I printed off of FedEx, with the knowledge that I had in my head, and I just used Square and a Facebook page and a Facebook group to promote it. I didn't have no website. It's like, that was it. So, all the excuses people make, I need this, I need that. No, you have to actually go out and go find people to buy your stuff. That's all you need. And just got to be resilient and be able to push past the no's, because a lot of people hear the no's and then they internalize it. And it's like, suck it out. Move on and ask the next person. Because when you was applying for jobs, how many of the jobs you got rejected? A lot, but you kept filling out that application. So when it comes to your business or your sales, why are you running away because someone says they're not interested?
That's an interesting comparison that you gave there. If you're willing to go to all these job interviews and take all those no's, why not use that same energy to find some clients for your business?
Yeah, I dealt with a lot growing up.
It definitely sounds like it. So in the preliminary interview, I made a note here. You said something interesting, which I'd love for you to expand on. You said and I guess in talking about why you stuck it out with gig work, you said we were good, but we wanted to do better. Could you elaborate on that?
So between me and my husband, we were both doing gig work.
All right. So I think I asked you, like, are you financially stable?
Yeah. So like the plan was to level up, get out of the apartment and move into a house, all that fun stuff. Because that was ultimately the whole reason why I went to college. Like that was the goal once we got married and I went to college, was to like provide a better life for us, to level up from where we were at. We just, because of the roadblock, gig work was the thing we gravitated to by default. It's not like we seeked it out. It just came about that way. But we've always tried to like level up to get to like 6 figures and above and things like that. So we had to evolve, like he started doing production stuff. He started doing manager work. It got to a point where like I just stopped doing gig work and just focused on the direct sales. And I went from, I tried to figure out which direct sales company was the best. And then eventually it just turned out to me, what skill sets and experience I had in direct sales turned into me starting my own business, because now I learned because I'm so ambitious, because I'm so focused, because I'm willing to cut out the noise and be laser beam focused and stay in my lane. I'm not looking at what everyone else is doing. People got in their feelings. So it got to the point where I do better just having my own company. So I ain't got to worry about the naysayers trying to, coyote and road running me.
Right. So you make your own choices. You make your own decisions. You don't have people above you. You don't answer to anybody. You work as much as you want, as less as you want, whenever you want.
Exactly. So now we can travel and take trips and go whenever we want to go. Because we used to go on cruises like every year in May. So from May to June, and take the kids. Because most people like, I can't go nowhere. The kids got school. We be like, come on, we take them out of school and just go. So these cruises ain't cheap. I think the one we doing now is like our room was $7,000. That was just for 3 people. How many people can drop that amount and leave work for a whole 10 days? Not even 7 days, 10 days. So like, yeah, like, do you want to work forever and not have quality of life? Do you want to just work and just, build, but don't experience nothing and want to wait till you're 65 to retire and then want to travel and try to catch up? Or should you have that balance where you can do things now, evolve your family and have those memories, expose them to a better life, because school is not cheap at all. None whatsoever. I don't know what we did, but my son goes to Brooklyn Tech. That's like a school in New York City. It's part of the specialized high school. We have to take an entrance exam, and you got to pass with a high score to get accepted. It's like Bronx High School Science Smart, and not a lot of people get in that school, but again, because we had the resources to provide a better childhood for them, put them in after school programs and summer camp. Most parents put them in a free summer camp. We ain't do the free summer camp where you sit in a school for another 2 months after being in school for 9 months. So like we paid for them to be in a Boys and Girls Club or overnight camp, Camelback, all that fun stuff. Like, you need money for kids. They are not cheap. I got a senior in high school now. Both my kids in high school. I'm prepared for the expenses because we knew about it when they were young and we put them in after school programs and stuff. But again, like I knew I wanted to do stuff with my kids. I didn't want to just have them sit in the house playing games. So I had to find a way, and this was the way, and we just kept going.
So you knew what you want, and you went out and you did what you had to do to get it.
Exactly.
Awesome. All right, so let's start to wind things down now. So do you have any words of wisdom that you'd like to share with our audience?
Take 100% responsibility for where you are and where you're not. At the end of the day, if you remove blaming, complaining, justifying, making excuses why things aren't where it goes, and realize that if it's meant to be, it's up to me, and do the work, you'll be surprised at how far you will go because you're focused on what you want versus focusing on what you're not want. Because what you say, like they say, what you talk about, you bring about. So if you're constantly saying negative stuff, you're attracting negative stuff to you. Saying positive stuff, you're attracting positive stuff to you. So what are you focused on? Because I didn't let other people negative Nelly comments stop me. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to fix you. I'm going to prove you wrong. And I'll make you feel stupid. I'm going to throw it in your face. And that's exactly what I did. So yeah, take responsibility and just focus on what you want, and just think about the 5 things you can do every day that's going to bring you one step closer to that goal, and take those steps.
All right. Beautiful. All right, Nikki, thank you so much for your for your words of wisdom and all of your experience. So let me put up your banner here. All right, you guys. So it is promo time. All right, so you can find Nikki Nicole. She is all over that social media And she has a website, you guys. So you can find her online and learn about her services. The website is www.thedivaspeak.com. She's also on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. It is the same handle for all three, just The Diva Speak, right? And she's also on LinkedIn, is her name, Nikki Nicole. So I encourage you to go to all of her accounts on social media and follow her and stay in touch with her. So if you want to learn more about her, everything that she has to offer, reach out to her. Again, the website is www.thedivaspeak.com. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube all have the same handle, The Diva Speak, and she is on LinkedIn. It is just her name, Nikki Nicole. So, Nikki, can you tell us about your business?
So I am a marketing consultant. So I help entrepreneurs in leveraging their social media platforms by running paid advertisements and building sales funnels. So ultimately help you automate the process of getting sales, getting leads, getting exposure, as well as growing your followers at the same time. I have three different options. We have online courses where you can just do it yourself. We have a service where I do it for you. And then we have the third option where we do it together in a group coaching setting with a few other people. So depending on how your learning style is or your pockets, your budget, we have something for everybody at every stage of the business.
All right, there you go. So if you are looking for those types of services for your business, reach out to Nikki Nicole. All of that information, it is scrolling below at the bottom of the screen for my video people, for my audio people. I did not forget about you. It is in the description. So I encourage you to take advantage of her services. So whether you're watching this on video like YouTube or Facebook, or you're listening on audio right now, if it's Spotify or Apple or iHeartRadio, all of this information is at your fingertips. It is in the description. So there's no excuse for you not to know it. All right, let's get this promo. So tell us about this promo.
All right, so I also have a lot of free resources. So I definitely do have it's like just an extra fancy link tree. So it's a page that has different offers in it. So depending on where you are in your business, I have free resources for you. So you can go click on the link that's scrolling on at the bottom and choose something that works for you. Whether you want to grow your YouTube channel, maybe you need help with that. Maybe you want to grow your email list. There's an ebook for that. Maybe you want to grow your TikTok and Instagram followers. There's an ebook for that. So I have a lot of ebooks and free videos there, as well as challenges. So it's different products, different services for either low cost or damn near free that you can use and get started now. And if once you get results, you can level up to one of the higher paid services.
Fabulous, fabulous. So I'll just read out the web link. So it is missnickynicole.lpages.co/offer hyphen pages. So I know there's a lot of letters in that link. So don't you worry about that. For my audio people, it is in the description. So all this information is at your fingertips one way or another. All right, Nikki, thank you so much for joining me today on Hot Topics.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. All right, I'm going to place you backstage now. Whew! That was a mouthful of information. Oh, wow. All right, so now, you guys, let me just get comfortable. All right, I'm going to put up my banner now. All right, you guys, we have reached the conclusion of yet another episode. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for joining me on this ride. I think this episode is number 162, I want to say. So, we've been at this for a while now. So thank you for joining me on this journey, whether you are brand new to the game or you've been with us for a while. Thank you for riding with Hot Topics. Very much appreciate it. All right. So as a reminder, Hot Topics is a production of my company, A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. So if you are looking for tutoring services for your child, whether it's homework help, one-on-one tutoring, college counseling, any kind of academic assistance. You know, we've seen it all, we've heard it all. Reach out to us. Our website is www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. You could also email us at success@astepaheadtutoringservices.com. You can also follow us on our many social media platforms. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp, and Eventbrite. So I encourage you to follow us on all of our platforms to stay in touch with us as well. Just look up A Step Ahead Tutoring Services and you will find us right there. So follow us on our social media, you guys, or go to our website, www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. We work with children and adults as well. So if you're looking for a tutor for yourself, maybe you have a civil service exam coming up, or maybe you want to go back to college. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Never too old to learn. Reach out to us. Let our tutors help you out. I also want to encourage you to let us know your feedback about this episode. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this episode. I definitely want to hear your feedback. So drop a comment in the comment section, drop a rating, drop a line, drop a note, drop something, but let us know your feedback about this episode. I will definitely appreciate that. That is it. Thank you guys again for joining me, and I look forward to you joining me at the next episode. Thank you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.